Hello, my name is James Ololo. I'm a non-resident Kenyan and I so much believe in this country. But for the last few years, a number of issues have been coming up that show us that Kenya is not going towards the right direction. First of all, after the post-election violence in 2007 and 2008, a coalition government was put in place, but we have seen the country going further and further away from the democracy that we so overwhelmingly voted for in 2002. I would like the country to move forward. That means, first of all, bring all the IDPs back to their original homes. The internally displaced people must be brought back to their homes. It is now 4 years since election violence erupted, and nothing, and absolutely nothing, has been done to show that justice is being pursued. This is a shame, not only a shame to the leaders of this country, but a shame to the citizens of the country. So let us not make any mistake. And Kenya must not renege from its international obligations. Kenya should not pull out of the ICC Rome Treaty. Instead, it should be a stronger member of the ICC Rome Treaty. It should help other African nations to follow the law, to respect and honor the life of its citizens. In order to restore sanity in this country, the perpetrators of this post-election violence must be seen to pay the price. Somebody's got to pay for it. Justice must be seen to be at work. Secondly, the IDPs must be brought back to their original homes. This is the only way to get closure to this matter. Just to remind you, fellow Kenyans, there are more than 350,000 other Kenyans living in makeshift camps as internally displaced people, refugees in their own country, living in horrible conditions, unacceptable conditions. Yet this government is very busy doing shuttle diplomacy, trying to remove Kenya from the international Rome Treaty. This is unacceptable and it will not work. That's why I appeal to you, fellow Kenyans, to help me stop this government from reneging from its international obligations. It is in the interest of the future of this country, in the interest of all of us, that Kenya stays a good and respected member of the international community. The other issue that this country needs to deal with and deal with head-on is ethnicity, tribalism, which is mainly brought about by corruption. If we remove corruption from our system of operations, we will deal with tribalism. Since independence, the tribe has been used to rule this country. It has been used to divide and conquer. So those in power don't have the interest of Kenyans at heart. Their only interest is to keep and maintain and stay in power by dividing and using the policies of divide and conquer. A united Kenya is the last thing they want. So I ask you to help me unite this country, because in long term, we have to unite. If we stay divided, we are too porous, we cannot be strong, we cannot face external aggression. We must be a united country, we must be a people. However hard it is better to pay the price now than wait for another generation. And another issue that I would like us to deal with is the issue of recycling politicians back to ministries, corrupt politicians. Since independence, no politician has been brought to justice for crimes committed while in office. Corruption in Kenya is rife. So, we want this country to empower the taxman. When politicians go out there to give a lot of money, which they cannot account for, the taxman must follow them up. This is the only way to bring down corruption, and it is also a way to make them responsible towards their constituencies. Often, too often, have we seen money disappear from the state coffers. The Ministry of Finance cannot account for money, and I'm talking about a lot of money. Yet, it is as if it is normal. Yet, we hear ministers coming to say that it is figures have been mistyped or things like that. This is unacceptable. It's been happening a lot of times, and nothing, absolutely nobody is brought to justice. Nobody is brought to accountability. Things just go on like that. We cannot afford to keep this nation running on such corrupt manners. Kenya is now known to be a lawless country. The streets are not safe. Children and women are not safe in their own houses. Corruption is rife, and nothing seems to be working. Yet we are told that we are doing our best. But I say that our best is not good enough. We want to have a country with accountability. We want children to go to school knowing that when they come back home, their parents will be home. We want parents to go to work and have their children go to school knowing that their children will safely come back home. We want this country to be a country of law-abiding citizens. In order to have a law-abiding country, citizens of this nation must know that lawlessness and crime will be dealt with accordingly. Anybody who involves himself or herself in criminal activities must know that we are going to follow him up. Our borders along Uganda and our borders along Ethiopia are not being protected by this government. Why are our borders not being protected? Why do we have a military? Why do we have a government, and why do we have a commander-in-chief? Why is it that our people are being killed in their own homes by foreign forces? Fellow Kenyans, this country is seriously in need of leadership. A leadership that is free from corruption, a leadership that is free from ethnicity, and a leadership that is focused on bringing hope to the children of this nation. A leadership that is focused on bringing peace, justice, and equality. We need new leadership that will focus on bringing real changes to this country. Leadership that will make children of this nation become proud of their country. Leadership that will respect the flag and the coat of arms of this country. In the 47 counties, you should ask for the same kind of leaders. Leaders who know the geography of this country. Leaders who know the peoples of this country. We must have same sort of leaders. Same sort of leaders in their way of thinking and their way of understanding politics of the world and politics of the region. We want leaders who know every single inch of the country. Because until now, we only have tribal leaders who only know their tribal backyards as a country, and they are supposed to be ruling the whole country. We need a new crop of leaders. Leaders who have interests of the entire country at heart, and not only the interests of their communities. But above all, we need men and women of righteousness.